Speaking of which, I'd now like to introduce the man, Loman Henry, for the presentation of the Frederick W. Anton III Patriot of the Year Award.
For those of you who may not have been here before, or maybe too young to remember, Frederick W. Anton III was a longtime chairman of the board and CEO and president of the Pennsylvania Manufacturers Association. And in 1989, when this conference began, 2 college students went to CPAC. They came back to Fred and other conservative leaders at the time. The Commonwealth Foundation was involved, and said, we ought to have something like that in Pennsylvania. Fred thought it was a great idea, and the Pennsylvania Leadership Conference was launched. Sort of toward the end of the 1990s, the conference sort of faltered a little bit, and it was a luncheon for a couple of years. And then Fred called me and he said, look, you know, this is vitally important that we have this conference. He said, so I'm going to put up the money. You're going to put on the conference. Thanks, Fred. And he had a dedication to the PLC that started at the very beginning 36 years ago. And it lasted every year until his passing 7 years ago. And, you know, Fred was one of those outstanding conservative leaders, an icon in Pennsylvania politics. Those of us at PMA still call him the boss, and we miss him every day. But this whole conference is a testament to Fred's dedication to the conservative movement. And so every year, in his honor, for the last 4 or 5 years, we have been naming a Patriot of the Year. Now, the first Patriot of the Year was somewhat of an obvious choice. Mr. Gizzi, who probably has been to more PLCs than anybody, and who spoke at the very first one in 1989. Miraculous, because he's only 29 years old. But so John was the very first recipient of the Frederick W. Anton III Patriot of the Year Award. Now, this year, we've decided that the award is going to go to someone in particular, but an institution in general. You see, this year is the 100th anniversary of the date that our local conservative talk radio station, WHP, went on the air. After 100 years, there have been a lot of personalities on WHP, but for us at PLC, one in particular stands out. So, RJ, come out here. We have decided, you know, this guy, every time I put out a news release, he calls me, Loman, would you come on the air for a few minutes and talk about, and we do this week after week. And RJ has been our MC for, I don't know, 15 or 20 years. So 100 years of broadcasting, RJ Harris, an institution in broadcasting, and here in Pennsylvania, we thought, RJ, you are deserving of the Frederick W. Anton III Patriot of the Year Award. Mr. Taylor. Thank you. Thank you.
You know, people say, I don't know what to say. I don't. And I'm usually at a loss for words. I would not have put myself at the top of the list when I look at this crowd and I see, looking at your faces, what all of you have done. So thank you so much.
And as a further surprise, you may not have noticed it, but we have a number of your coworkers from WHP are here, and I believe your wife and a number of your children are also here. If they would please stand up. There they are in the back.
Unbelievable. You know, Bonnie said to me, what are you eating tonight? I said, chicken, I just don't know what kind.
Well, you know, we snuck around behind your back for weeks, and I put them back there so you wouldn't see them, and you didn't.
I didn't, no.
So after we're done, I'd like you to have your family and coworkers come up we'll have Steve Miller take some pictures for you.
Thank you.
So, thank you, RJ.
No,
Congratulations.
thank you.
Thanks
Wow.
for everything.
I love you guys. Thank you. Wow. As I said, I would put so many of you at the top of the list before me, but I will treasure this.